so I'm going in. You play for fun, I'm playing to win. Back on the wall, I'm ready for war. If I beat them before, I could beat them again. They thought I was done, I went on a run and beat all the odds and got even again. Watch what you say, I'm not one of them. When I jump in my bag, I could jump out the gym. Take a look at my legacy, I gotta let them see I'm out here winning, cause I'm on a mission. Put me in the game, cause the way I'm feeling, I honestly do not see no competition. I gotta get it, so it ain't no quitting. We jumped off the benches and jumped in the trenches. No one is better than all of us, and that's why all of us been winning from the beginning. It's more than a care, don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey coach, put me in the game. Your goals, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey coach, put me in the game.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding like we knew it all, not afraid.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
They're on 19-yard line.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. This defense for the Broncos, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Mayfield to throw it. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 in a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mayfield with it once more. This to C.J. Ham, the fullback. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Mayfield looks to throw. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Well, first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, they started the drive back to pretty deep, but a nice effort to overcome the field position, get into field goal range on the game's opening possession.
And Brandon, I think from where they started, the initial thought was, can we get 1 or 2 first downs and help out our defense after we pump the ball away with field position? But as that drive went on, I think their sights got set a little bit higher. They were thinking touchdown, ended up settling in between and coming away with a field goal.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Broncos send Corliss Waitman out to punt. Fielded at the 33. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Mayfield off the play fake. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Mayfield now. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And again, it's Mayfield. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. And this looks like a roughing call. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 15 now. Mayfield hauled in over the middle. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Now Williams running left. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The Broncos send out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And that one didn't accomplish a whole lot. It'll be down inside the 35-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hurry!
First down, Mayfield. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. 10-0 the score after 1. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess. That allows for extra yardage on the return.
That's caught at the 25. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to greenlight that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Coming right, this is Cook on the toss play. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
These guys off the edge are already tough to contain when they're protecting a stationary target. Asking them to hold their blocks when a runner is struggling to find a lane, often an impossible task. Regardless of the outcome on the scoreboard, that will be one of this game's biggest stops.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield dancing to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. And his kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
from the 27. Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
This offense so far on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for them all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Now Mayfield. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw complete to Reagor. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Minnesota's kick team ready and the Vikings boom it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger point. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. That's a quick slant. He finds Adam Thielen. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
And this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
And I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. To the right side and complete to Washington. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he's got it inside the 10. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. To throw is Wilson. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A great play there, as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Oh, this is blocked. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll throw now on the final play. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 22. Mayfield off the play fake. He'll buy some time right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Let's go. Play fake. Mayfield. And And this is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Mayfield on play action. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Za'Darius Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. This time, the extra point up and good, and the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Vikings 23, Broncos 13. Brendan McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. And some space here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 33 and a first.
And they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. Now Cook running right. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. 2nd and 8 coming from the 19. They go play action. Mayfield. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. He has career touchdown number 78, tying it with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point try now for Venvik. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And now here's another interception. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. Still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Meanwhile, here's a shot for the end zone right away, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Mayfield looks to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. To throw, Mayfield. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ballgame.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. This is Hamler on the receiving end. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. We've talked about it, Cedar, but it bears repeating, and they are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken on the 25. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
He'll go up top here for Hamler. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Up the middle, it's Williams. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. the shotgun. Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, the field goal is probably not going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they feel like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Mayfield's throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Working with a 2nd and 4. Now Mayfield. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
I know we spent a lot of time talking about how the defensive backs read routes and make plays on the football. How about a good linebacker? Feeling the route, seeing the quarterback, jumps the play, and knocks it away. Really well done.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Here's Mayfield. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. A 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Mayfield with it once more. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. After the interception, here's Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
After the sack on 1st down, Wilson, he'll go up top here for Hamler. And it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. He's going to launch it for Washington. And it'll be intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they got the big lead here in the fourth. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
Not in any rush offensively.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Throwing, Mayfield. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking out play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you can see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. Right back to Cook for another completion. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Rolling to his right. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
There's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mayfield now. This ball complete to Rager. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 33. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's up.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
That was quite the call down around the goal line on 4th and goal.
Yeah, they fake the run, pull it out, throw it. And as a defense, I've been in that spot before, and we see it all the time. You almost have to overcommit against the run. You have to almost sell out and say, they're going to run it, go make a play. They got fooled on that one.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson
got his man. It's Dulcich.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing is Wilson. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and did not hang on. 2nd down coming up. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
On for the point after Corey Vedvik.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Makes the score Vikings 51, Broncos 13.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
They begin the drive with Williams. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. From the 30 on second down, Wilson, now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man, complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really no shortage of big plays for us to examine, partner, on offense or on defense for this team. They were so well-rounded in this one.
They certainly were. How about the day those defenders have done? You know, many takeaways that they have after counting after a while. They were clearly the better team, and their defensive effort, it led the way.
So for the Vikings, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers.